Welcome back to you for another most special and most yummy update, baby dolls. Ethereum is what we have to be watching. It's at 2,500 American dollars. There is no glory until Ethereum is pretty much above 3,800. Why? It did 3 touches at this round, around this very, very key, important level. A lot of the soy boy scum jeets. I mean, friends, if you check out this level, check this out. It rejected about 3,800. 1, 2, 3. See how much it scammed you, by the way? It broke up and it made a higher low. That's one everyone held. 4, 5, 6. So if we come back for a 7th time, I mean, I don't think we're ever coming back now that I think about it. And I really, man, I'm thinking, man, I'm not even joking, friends. I'm gonna tweak my nipples very, very gently for you in a very family-friendly way. Friends, when you break something after 6 touches, bro, and it'll be the 7th, you shouldn't come back, like, ever. You know what this tells me? This tells me maybe Ethereum does go to like $16,000 this cycle. If it goes up here and then it actually comes all the way back down to 4K, that's a 75% drop. I can see that. That could be like what we actually see, 17K. And by the way, friends, I've got more juicy videos here for you. So if crypto, total crypto, it's about 3.3 trillion. If total crypto hits 10 trillion, which is very reasonable, you know, I've been talking about 10 trillion since last year, a long time. I just feel like it's very racist and transphobic if crypto doesn't hit 10 trillion this cycle. The amount of money printing, global liquidity, business cycle, Donald Trump, he might make a crypto city. Let's try and meme it and manifest it into the world, friends. We've never heard of a crypto city for America. I'm the first person who's talking about it. I'm shouting it out there to the universe. Get Trump to announce a crypto city, the new Silicon Valley for America. That'd be great. And all these other amazing juicy stuff out here. So if you do that, friends, Ethereum doesn't even have to gain anything extra. It just stays the same dominance as everything, as roughly its same ranges. And yeah, you do get Ethereum around $16,000. That's about 1.5 trillion market cap for Ethereum. Yeah, 1 trillion for ETH is about here. Yeah, so if it does another 50-60% on top of that, maybe 1.5 trillion. So man, that could be some giant stuff if we have that. Also, if Bitcoin's 4 trillion and Ethereum hits 1.5, that is about, I think, an ETH BTC ratio of 0.08. Okay, which is very, very possible. So I hope you see what I mean. This is what we're looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like I'm just showing this, man. You've hit this like 6 times, bro. So we're gonna do more thinking about that. But yeah, it's very possible. And I've just drawn a nice little chart here, friends, just to clean it all up. That's what it would look like, right? So imagining a world where it does this, it's just so hated, man. I just like markets always surprise you, man. You're always learning. You think you've seen everything, and then like it always throws a wild card out of it. Like, did you ever think in your mind the number 2 coin in all of crypto, which is the number 1 altcoin, Ethereum, would have this amount of vomit-inducing putrid hatred for it? It's disgusting. I just like, it's wild, man. So yeah, I would not be surprised we see this, okay, if it goes up to here. Or as well, did Ethereum do something similar in the last cycle? Yeah, it did. All right, it did do something like that. It did hit around here. It hit between the 2 and the 3 fib. So if we do that again, maybe the 2 and the 3 fib, it would be like a $13,000 ETH. But you never know, man. It might have that final 20% spike up for like a month or something. You don't know, right? Yeah, so that's definitely on the cards. The good, like, you're like, when's it gonna happen? I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be an extended cycle, man. These are some big moves. But you got to think about as well what are the narratives and everything's out here. But yeah, I've got plenty of narratives that we could do. Like, for example, all the stablecoins coming in. You have real world assets. Like I said before, the crypto city and all this stuff. It just, yeah, they would all come as price goes up. The good thing is though, friends, like we're long now. So we don't have to worry about that, you know, like, oh, where's it going to stop? I don't want to miss out. Well, that's why the beautiful part is, like, I guess when it's becoming an extreme amount of euphoria, right, you're just going to have to look at that like, oh, these are within the realm of expectations out here. So, you know, these high numbers, therefore people buying in higher. These are people buying above Ethereum 5K, you know, they're trying to get that 2 or 3x. And yeah, does that mean Ethereum is still cursed? Yeah, it does, actually, because your ratio is still poop. Because that means Ethereum wouldn't actually make any new high. It would just retrace back to pretty much the high of 2021. It wouldn't even make a new high, and it'll probably sink in the bear market as well. And then you probably have to believe in like Ethereum super high to run early, just like XRP did as well, right? Fun fact as well, friends. So PulseChain community, we're relying on Ethereum. Ethereum is a reflection of the business cycle, right? Which I mentioned for you so much, friends. Aren't you glad, by the way, that actually I have this and I formulated it and I see this because remember, I see there's so much information. I have to synthesize so much. And I think about it all day. It just runs through my head all day. And I chop all the signal part. And then we come to just all the noise part. I filter out, I get the signals and I just like split it down. I'm like, I want one chart. One thing that just shows me that's it. This represents everything. And it's literally right here. It's the business cycle. Down for so long. You know, many people, friends, they're going to be in shock probably because, man, when you go down this low, bro, you have to do some sort of big emphatic push-up, right? And we are going to get people who are going to be worried that everything's going to collapse. And like, I still maintain my position, man. AI is eating the world right now, just like the technology internet bubble we had in 1990s. AI is literally eating the world. As you just throw the stuff ChatGPT is doing, it's literally destroying jobs. Okay, it's just destroying interior designers, architect, literally freaking everyone's getting wrecked. Resume writers, everyone's literally getting wrecked. And AI is getting smarter and smarter. It's not like a thing that exists now. It's getting smarter. And guess what? As it gets smarter, more capable, people just plug in the APIs everywhere. Man, it's gone wild. Friends, what's going to happen when like everything we're doing is going to be AI controlled? Because AI is going to know and it's going to learn what you like. And then when new material comes up, it's going to know, oh yeah, this is something that you like, and it'll just morph and learn with you over time. It's going to be crazy. It's going to know like your pattern of like, oh, like for example, me, maybe I watch like 4 crypto videos and then I watch like a short gaming video because I don't get to play games. I just like watch people play for literally like 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I move on to the next video just to like to break it up in the day. Like it's going to start learning stuff like that, right? It's going to be crazy, man. What's it going to do when you plug it into like your WhatsApp and your Facebook conversations and it starts checking stuff out? And it might say, hey, I think Larry's got a drug addiction problem. I think Larry, every time he says like, you know, he's at home, he's actually not. He's playing with his Game Boy in the park. Didn't invite anybody out there. He's got his USB cable as well, trading Pokemon with strangers in the park. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be able to do weird stuff like that our brains aren't even ready for. And then we'll obviously get to the over exuberance for that. What's that going to look like? Well, it's going to have to come up in prices, right? When every company just names itself as AI, right? Like it has, these things don't just end on like, okay, now we hit fair value and everybody gets a lollipop. It doesn't work like that. It has to like go irrationally high where people get like too excited. Where like every company has an AI thing and we like think, are you worth like, you know, 500 billion for your company? Like your AI thing, like what if someone else's AI just kind of eats you in like 5 years, then you're worth 0, right? When we start seeing, but the numbers aren't high enough for us to even like, there's no expensive prices for us to be worried about that yet. You know, we have to get to fair value first and then have this over exuberance burst, which I'll just show you what happened in the S&P 500. Actually, a good reminder, this is the S&P 500 today. Look at this, friends. It came all the way back, bro. And look at, friends, this is wild. It came back to the 61.8, battled it, and just shot up right here. Man, this is super, super, super freaking strong, bro. But this is wild. I think it really is going to do a little bit of the AI run. This is what we think we're repeating right now. So remember, if you go back to all the way here, this is the technology run, right? It's funny we're doing something like this, right? So stocks, friends, it pretty much, everything was going up and up and up and up. This might have been like the first big scare, but in this run, this is where stocks went wild. This is where Mark Cuban made his billions of dollars and everything went wild. And it's kind of crazy, man. Mark Cuban was hedging himself as a billionaire with his stock. And he hedged it. His stock was at, I think he hedged with a $50 stock price. And then it went to 200. So he wasn't like, he shorted his own stock, pretty much hedged against it at $50. And his own stock went 4x higher than he freaking, it's wild, man. It's wild. So he hedged himself, man, that's crazy. Because you need to grab all the liquidity you can, right? If you remember as well, so how did he actually cash out? He couldn't sell his stock. He bought put options. So he did a stock transfer somewhere. And then the conditions were, you're not allowed to, so he sold his stock to like Yahoo. They bought him out for like, you know, 1.1 billion or whatever. But the condition was he's not allowed to sell Yahoo stock for like a year. So then he went to one of the bug eater banks like Goldman Slugs, and they wrote him up some put contracts, right? He was not allowed to short an index where he had like 5% contribution or something. That's like against the rules. So what he did was he bought puts on it They basically bought and put. So he paid big amounts for puts. I think first he put on a short. That's what actually happened. It was kind of interesting, right? Actually, it's amazing, friends. Yahoo, you can't even trade them anymore. They don't trade since 2017. But I think they were bought out by Verizon, it says. So this is Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, he was able to do the transfer here. Okay, so that's crazy, yeah? He was able to do the transfer here, I think like $40. And it went all the way, like it did like another 3x, man. So that was a real number. But it's funny. He got short here to hedge. And then it pretty much negated all his profits. However, when he got the unlock, where he's now allowed to sell the tokens, he couldn't even get enough liquidity, so he bought puts on the whole market. Which you will probably see, that's what people might have to do if crypto goes so wild. That's all of these big VC investors, like they might have, for example, this is what happens, friends. Like if there's a VC guy or just the founder of a coin, and they have, let's say let's say that it's hit like 10 billion market cap, and then they have like maybe they have an enormous amount. They have like 4% of that. They want to sell 400 million. You can't get that liquidity, right? So maybe they don't have access to like all $400 million. Maybe they only have like 40 million sold. You know what I mean? 40 million or 20 million sold. So what they might do is they would have to use that to buy like a 1-year put on say Ethereum or something. Because what they bet on, they go, well, that's actually how it works, right? So if Ethereum, let's say pretty much, let's say we do get this enormous bounce up here, we could actually go up. So they would have to buy a put on Ethereum, and they might have the strike price at like 11K. So maybe expires in like a year from that point. So pretty much what they want to do is they're going to, okay, look, because they know, okay, if this put, so if Ethereum's price in a year from now has crashed from 15K to like 7, right? His altcoin position, he doesn't have 400 million net worth anymore.'s probably got like 40 million, and he can't even get out because it's down 90%, right? However, the put contract that they bought will be worth a lot of money. So that's his hedge. That's actually a strategy that a lot of these big guys will have to do to actually get that. But it's not so easy, because in crypto, the market makers and derivative, they don't give you free money with the options in Ethereum and stuff out here. Like everything's really expensive to play them, right? But you and I don't need to worry about stuff like that, friends. Made this post here, fun factor. It's just like, look at the stuff that we're in. So that's the game all these other guys make. They're supplying narratives to the market. That when you think about it like that, they're giving you, hey, I'm going to give you a journey and a story for the bull market. I call them BMSVs. That's what we're all looking for, a bull market speculation vehicle. That's what everyone looks for, right? That's actually what you're doing in crypto. You want a bull market speculation vehicle. In the JPEG casino, they're like, hey, I'm going to give you the speculation for like 72 hours. That's like the pump fund stuff out here, right? Other ones, they're like, hey, I'll give you this journey for as long as you want the whole bull market, right? Then you have like crazy stories like this. Fun fact, pDAI went to 0 twice. You see this, bang. And then the next one as well. So that's on the launch. And this one went down pretty much 99.79%. Man, from the top. That's wild. Literally went to 0 twice, and 99.93%. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you really want this stuff, you got to earn them. It's crazy, right? But my nipples still remain pegged, which I'm going to remind you out here every single day as well. My friends, PulseChain, best hidden gem ecosystem in the world, is not even close. Literally not even close. All the barriers are coming down as well. Remember, it can go to 0 for a third time. No crying in the casino. Now, PulseChain, I've been covering it a lot as well. PulseX is still cranking as well, friends. The PulseX to Pulse ratio, extremely important. Bro, this thing, friend, I think Richard's going to send this thing to 2.0. I think it's literally going to blow everyone's minds what this thing's going to do. It's going to be wild. That buy and boom, man, that's absolutely crazy. Because remember, this thing literally has real utility, man. It's literally, we actually have economic activity. Yeah, it's people speculating, and it's going to improve over time. And then people are going to speculate and hedge and do all these other things as we get more exchange listings, which I'm hoping everybody's still working on as well. Hex is not even still a cent. This is pHex as well. This is the biggest P token out there. Man, really nice if these things get to $1. Be very nice. But first stop's got to be 10 cents, right? Another 10x higher. We'll see. Also, shout out to my friend, Mr. HexJamHex as well, making these cracker videos. This is what it's going to feel like when pDAI is just back to 3 cents. Awesome. Awesome. Who is that guy? Who is that guy? That's awesome, man. So that's the advantage of buying really low. You get this like new highs, like you literally get euphoria at a new high thing. And everyone else is like, wow, finally something I can start to believe in, right? But You know, show me a new high and I'll show you a buy. That's a famous stock market saying as well. Also, I thought I'd share this with you as well, friends. This is hilarious. So Eric Walls made this post of this video. We're going to let you watch the video. And it's from a Bitcoin Maxi that I enjoy watching. I check everyone out, friends. Bitcoin Maxi, Ethereum Maxi. I just want to see what ticks people's stuff out here. So I'll just let you watch it. It's actually quite funny. Let's go.
Get rich in the problem is when people get rich in unethical ways. That's when I think they should be called out. Richard Hart is a great example. He went from being the email spam king to scamming his followers with crappy cryptos like Hex and Pulse. This is Richard James Schuler, his real name, known widely as the Spam King. And here he is advertising. Richard Schuler, I'm 23-year-old multimillionaire, learned how to spam millions of people per day. He worked for a company or founded a company that was sending over 600 million spam emails per day. And if you ever received a spam email having to do with Viagra, it's quite likely it was from him. He went on to enter the crypto space and do Hex, which destroyed a lot of people's lives, and Pulse as well, which destroyed a lot of people's lives. Pulse down 86-87% from inception. Richard Hart is really such a great example because he was good at scamming both with spam and also with crypto, which foreshadowed the many people who want to put spam and scam in this way on Bitcoin today. We talked about the Taproot Wizards. This is such like late postmodern degenerate art. It's not even very good. It's total crap, and unfortunately it's been...
So this is just to let you know, that's Eric it's Eric's video. So obviously Michael Saylor follows. Matt, this is Matthew Cratter. That's him, Brent. Everyone laughs when this is Matthew Cratter. That's why Eric is Eric. This is the funniest part, friends. Eric, how does it feel knowing that when Bitcoin Maxis say Richard Hart, PulseChain, and Hex, they think of you now? It's like the total opposite of what you've been fighting for 4 years. I've got a tear in my eye. Oh, man, you can't even write this into a movie. This is like a joke 4 years in the making. This is like deep level funny. This is like you can't write this in a sentence. Okay, if someone can eloquently put it out there, please. Like it just, in fact, I literally have tears in my eyes from laughter. The guy spent 4 years. 4 years shitting on the community. And now his own community, when they think of Richard Hart and PulseChain, they literally think of his stuff. Poor Eric. Oh my gosh.
Put on the Bitcoin blockchain as well, and they're responsible for that original Taproot Wizard, which was minted in February 2023. Took up an entire block, a 4 megabyte block, the biggest thing that was ever put, biggest JPEG that was ever put in a Bitcoin block up until that point. And it was the Luxor mining pool that enabled them to do it. They did a direct submission to them because obviously some garbage like this would not be transferred from node to node because we're using filters. So Taproot Wizards are another example of bad actors who are profiting from spam on the Bitcoin blockchain. Of course, Eric Wall is very pro spam, and in terms of weighing in on the current debate, he says we support Bitcoin Core and regret that they have to deal with retarded people. So this is what the Taproot Wizards think of, just regular Bitcoin node runners.
that you gotta admit, Eric, that's funny because Eric wrote essays about Richard Hart being the spam king, and now Bitcoin Maxis are calling Eric Wall pro spam. Oh gosh, I got no words for this, friends. I just 4 years, bro. You spent 4 years shitting on the PulseChain, Hex, Richard Hart, multiple passports, fighting the shit out of it, literally everything, and now your own community. You're the spam king now. Oh man, friends, if you wrote this into a TV show, they'd be like, nah, it doesn't really work like that. Yeah, it does work like that, bro. It does work like that. So, you know, your first reaction is Sommy, but he said some bad, naughty things about Richard Hart. Okay, let him. Who cares? Do you want to know something about him? Friends, that's why, friends, I have yeah, I've got two nipples, but they're pointing in all directions. They're like satellites, satellite antennas, okay? Just picking up signals. So let me tell you something, okay? You're probably thinking there's no comeback. Oh, there's a comeback. All right, this is the funniest part. Do you remember, friends, I told you Bitcoin has no tech. They have no solutions for anything. So they make all these compromises everywhere and they do mental gymnastics, even though it like breaks all of Satoshi's teachings and stuff. Well, yeah, you're about to hear one. So this Bitcoin Maxi making the video about Richard Hart, Eric Wall, and the Wizards and stuff. I just want to remind you something. He sells trading courses. Yeah. So he sells trading courses. Yeah. Options and trading and stuff out here. Right. I forgot which one exactly on his website. Yeah. That's why it's like, he used to be called Crypto University. And then he renamed, because Bitcoin dominance got so high, he renamed from Crypto University now to Bitcoin University, because they want to separate Bitcoin from crypto. And I think he's going to regret that. All right. I think you are witnessing this arrogant, euphoric rise of Bitcoin dominance. This is like a top signal buy-in. They go, screw crypto. I'm just Bitcoin. I know. Okay, look, check out these nipples. They're literally the amount of signals they're just picking up in the universe. Pew, 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 right? This will go so low, it'll make them capitulate on that idea. Oh, you're crypto now again? That's what happens. That's what markets do, friends. That's what markets do. Yeah. Ethereum guys, I guess, got so confident or arrogant, depends if you own the bag or not. They got too confident. They believe they weren't an altcoin anymore. Remember? Even I don't call it an altcoin. But you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, it's an altcoin, bro. It's an altcoin. Why is that? Statistically, it is an altcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin responds to global liquidity going up, and Ethereum is more closely tied to the business cycle. So you're still in the business cycle altcoin camp, right? Maybe it changes in the future, but not now, not this cycle. This is Ethereum's third cycle. I guess it's going to need another one. Maybe in the next one it does, maybe, but we'll see. So selling trading courses, you're like, oh, what's wrong with that? But here's the thing, bro. Okay, you're hiding behind a Bitcoin logo. You're selling services for a 1% win rate industry. Yeah, it is 1%. We have the stats. 1% of every person who opens a trading account on Binance, on Cuckbase, on BuyShit, on Cuckcoin, on Gemini, on any of these exchanges, 1% of people have a profitable account in 12 months from that moment. Only 1%. Okay. So we know it's a 1% win rate. Don't try to like say, oh no, but I'm going to teach them right, but I'm going to teach them risk. It's okay, man. It's okay. Okay. I'm just telling you, look at the hypocrisy though. So while he's conveniently pointing out, PulseChain is still low, heavily depressed business cycle. That's why, friends, I'm giving you context. Is PulseChain a scam and it's shit? No. Okay. I know everyone's going to say answer yes. It's funny. Because if I was at home, I'm like, yes. Just joking, right? No, it's a business cycle that's depressed us for 30 months. Didn't ask for 30 months. I wish it was 13. Unfortunately, we got 30. What do? I'll keep holding. All right. So I'm not surprised, right? Because Bitcoin, friends, has no tech. See, Bitcoin now, they're in a dangerous spot, but they don't realize they're dangerous because they're drunk off euphoria. Because you have been rewarded by the market for literally having no tech. Because you rise with global liquidity, whether you have tech or not. Yeah, so they feel confident and safe now. But I know what's going to happen. Bitcoin dominance is going to go so low to make their community split. Not like hard fork or anything, or you never know about that. Probably not. But like it'll like be like, we have to have a serious discussion about putting in technology into this thing. We have to, okay? We're so far away from that moment, by the way. So far away. But it's funny, friends. They all do these mental gymnastics. Does Bitcoin have any privacy solutions? No. Can you swap stuff? No. All right. So you literally can't do anything on it. You have no proper sovereignty when it comes to literally anything in the digital realm. Sure, you have like this analog thing where you buy Bitcoin, you give your passport and ID to an exchange, and then you can buy it and then you can withdraw it. Do you have a solution for that? No, though. You don't. All right. What about the digital world that we're building for? Altcoins are the infrastructure of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a base money. It's like gold. Yeah. So, and all of us are like rehypothecating on it. That's how the real world economy works, right? So, you roll this out forward. What do you think is going to happen, friends? Do you think the world's going to get less digital or more digital? Obviously, more digital. Payments, stablecoins. Does Bitcoin have stablecoin rails? Hell no. They have dog shit Tether, right? USD-T, T for trash, with a blacklist function, who hire the FBI and CIA, by the way, who literally just pause and delete accounts, okay? No court ordering, no nothing. CIA tells them, boop, see you later, $20 million. They froze $22 million for that Russian exchange. They froze another $12 million account like a month or two ago as well. There you go, two guys, $32 million, gone, all right? So you don't know what's behind that story. What if they just didn't like them? You have no idea, right? So how does Tether get a spot at the Bitcoin conference? Miami, wherever it is this year, Bitcoin conference. How do they get a spot? Well, because they're dumping the US treasuries and they're buying BTC with it. Yeah, that's how they get a spot there. But no, bro. Like, the functions of Tether are literally the reason why Bitcoin was invented. Do you know that, right? You got a blacklist function. So what's this Bitcoin Maxi land? They go, no. It's okay for us to back a company that's buying BTC, even though they have all these like anti-Satoshi biblical stuff. It's okay for us to back that. Why? Because they're not. Why? Because they're not using the yield to buy Ethereum. They're not using yield to do that. Actions speak louder than words, right? They're using altcoins. Tether is minting on Tron. Tether is minting on Ethereum. The hypocrisy, right? That's why I'll call out Paolo. Call you out, bro. Altcoins are making you all the money. You know that, right? Bitcoin's not making you the money. You're just hiding behind a Bitcoin logo. But I think they're all going to get embarrassed in due time. All right. We are like, I know what I'm saying. No one believes me right now, but I know why no one believes me. It's because we have had 4 green years in a row of Bitcoin dominance. Yeah. So no one believes me. If I get a big fat red dildo down, okay, people are going to start perking up their ears. So these people will eat their words. It's just a matter of time. Remember, this is the business cycle, friends, that I'll be talking about. Yeah, it hasn't even hit 52 yet. Look, just to be honest, I went and checked out the worst of the worst of the worst in the past 70 years since the data started. It can go for 42 months, just to let you know. 42 months. But if realistically, 42 months is when it crosses to 52 business ISM. So like you're recovering 2 months before that. You know, so it's on month 40, you start going up. So like, oh, Samuel, we're in month 31 now. Yeah, and then maybe hits business ISM in 2 or 3 months. That's still maybe, okay? But isn't it nice? And by the way, you want to know, when did it hit 42? Like, yeah, we got turbo recessions. We had like, like extreme hits in the business cycle back then. But I want to just let you know, hey, how long could this theoretically go for? Another 10 months from today. So that will be until next year, March. So you want to know that's the worst case. So remember, Bitcoin dominance 4 years in a row. And this is the PulseChain BTC ratio. Of course, it's dog shit. But man, look how fast it got back up here. Literally just 2 weeks. So that first 700% move up. Oh, it's going to be so good, man. I know you're feeling all the pain. I'm feeling the pain too, friends. But I'm just telling you, once it happens, it'll be fast. Right? And when it gets there, they're going to have a lot of regret. Here's Eric replying as well, which is funny. Also, my friend Azael, I wonder if we come off like retards to other communities, brother. Azazil, are you joking, bro? We are like barely functioning vegetables compared, well, that's how other people consider us in the community. Yeah, friends, I want you to know as well. So a lot of people wonder, man, where do you get your confidence from? Where the hell does it come from? You have to have a humbleness for all these other periods of time. Friends, when you're a student of history, that's how you get your confidence. That's what I do, friends. I look at 100-year charts. I look at monthly stuff, right? I go down into the red candle. I remove what happens in the flash. I go, what does it feel like right there? There's a war going on. This thing's exploded. These 3 towers fell down when nothing hit the 3rd tower, if you know what I mean, right? Can't talk about it here. So, you know what I mean? Like, what does that feel like? Feel like it's really over, and it's never over. That's how I get through that. Same thing with crypto. Well, here. So We are still going to make it. But at least you know, hey, what's worst case? We go for another 10 months. But like, you know, global liquidity is ticking up already, right? Interest rates are already tough. Inflation's come down. Donald Trump saying we're going to keep booming and booming. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like something's about to crack. All right? So we are going to make it. Like, subscribe, Billy Button, or catch you soon.